All right, let's look at what a hyperbola. Hyperbolas are a set of all points in a plane such that the absolute value of the differences of the distances from two fixed points, a focus or foci, are constant. Transverse axis is between vertices. All right, so you have a picture where we have asymptotes. We'll talk about how to find the asymptotes. We have its center here at 0, 0, but of course we'll look at somewhere the center is not at 0, 0. And we have two fixed points, the focus, excuse me, the foci, and then we have our vertices. Now, a transversal axis of a hyperbola is one of two axes to which the hyperbola is symmetric. It contains the foci. Okay, so that's how we would remember a transversal axis because it contains the foci. And then the conjugate axis of a hyperbola is one of two axes to which the hyperbola is symmetric. It does not contain the foci. So we're going to be looking at some of these, the transversal axis and its conjugate axis. And then let's talk about the standard form of equations for hyperbolas where you have the center HK. And I'm going to show you exactly how to identify, number one, when an equation is an hyperbola equation. We will have to sketch that, and also how to determine if it's going to be horizontal or if it's going to be vertical. Okay, now to determine if the equation is a hyperbola, one thing that I want you to be mindful of is that the x squared will have a positive constant, excuse me, a positive coefficient, and the y squared has a negative coefficient, as we see here, or the y squared has a positive coefficient, but the x squared term has a negative coefficient. Well, when there's a minus sign between the x squared terms and or y squared terms, or I should say, or y squared term, then it's a hyperbola. Now remember, for an ellipse, the x squared and y squared terms have different positive coefficients. So both coefficients are positive, okay, even though they're different. So there'll be a plus sign between the two terms. Whereas with the hyperbola, there's a minus sign. Now, how will I know that I'm going to graph, when I graph a hyperbola, will it be horizontal or vertical? Well, it depends on the first term of that equation. If the first term begins with an x squared term, then the graph will be horizontal. When the first term and it's y squared, the first term of that equation, and the term is y squared, then it's going to be vertical. Okay, so that's how we would know the difference. So I'll be asking those questions as we do more or do some examples.